What are your thoughts on protesting? Effective? A waste of time?
That's a pretty good question. Is it a waste of time? I would say maybe in Toronto it's probably a waste of time. In Ontario.
Really? Okay.
Because I know that they protest and stuff in Montreal. And I'm not sure if they get results, really. But it's not as strict as it is in Toronto when it comes to protesting. Or Ontario, I should say. I don't know. It's a little different. So, have they ever protested and got results? I've never seen it.
Good question.
I've never
Have
seen
we
it.
ever gotten results from a protest?
Right.
How frustrating is that?
Of course, I know.
Hundreds of thousands of people.
What's the point of protesting?
I'm asking you.
Man. Like I know they're protesting right now. They're protesting. The Palestinians are protesting, and the Israelis are protesting. But they only protest for so long, and then everybody just goes home. And I don't know. They try it again next weekend when people have time to go and actually protest. Like it's not. I don't know. And my thing is the definition of insanity: doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results.
Scary.
I don't know. It's not working, don't do that. There's got to be different ways.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
What was the question?
Protesting. Do you find it effective?
I think it depends on the topic of the protest, to be honest. Effective? Clearly not. It creates a lot of chaos, and there's always an opposing side who wants to come in and battle whoever's protesting. I think it's a great way to get a message out and voices heard, but it, as Pete has said, it really hasn't changed anything. But it's just a matter of getting your message out, and then there's always controversy and chaos behind it, which the message gets lost in.
Yeah, maybe people need to be educated on whatever it is that whatever issues they have. Maybe they need to educate people on the issues and let them know what's really going on. But because we deal with the media's not going to let us see it, the full truth, right? It's kind of biased. So this is probably one of the reasons why the protest thing doesn't really work, because everybody already has their opinion. You know what I mean? Because of what they see on TV or whatever. They already, you know what I mean? So it's hard.
I can actually think of one protest that was effective. Hey, I was wondering where you were, where your sign is.
Oh, it's in the back.
So what's going on? Because of the season? You're not doing people really?
No, I'm going to spray somewhere else, but mainly mobile, but
Okay, cool.
I'm just going down the street at Tessa's house.
Okay, cool.
Not her house, at her shop.
Okay. I didn't know Tessa had a shop.
Same family, just different locations.
Cool. Panther protests. Ever been inspired? Ever joined a protest? You've never protested before?
No.
That time, remember that protest that we went to?
Yeah.
Panther wasn't there?
No, it was me.
Panther didn't? Okay.
I don't protest.
No.
No. I protested once in jail, and they sent me.
Oh.
They sent me to the hole and fucking shook me to another fucking institution. So I learned I learned real quick what protesting can get you.
Yeah, right? I feel like the Black Lives Matter protest during lockdown was actually one of the more effective protests.
I've never actually been to one, and I've never.
Only
Yeah,
because
the
we
message
saw
of
them
that
worldwide, and changes were made just in terms of money being, well,
Again, it started off as a great protest, and then everybody.
some black people did get the money. Black Lives Matter definitely got the money. Those guys got millions, you guys.
But then that's when everybody else jumps on board and turns it into their own protest on top of that protest on top
Yeah.
of that protest, and that's how things get chaos ensues. Like that's what ends up happening.
Who was running the Black Lives Matter?
I know,
campaign?
every country, every city had different people,
No, that's what I'm saying.
but in the States, those
Like-
guys made money.
Yeah.
Those guys made millions, and just a few people made millions. They never distributed it, but
That's
they
what I'm saying.
did make the millions.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It was a scam, and they jumped on that. When I heard the Black Lives Matter thing, I'm like, whoa, where the hell is this stuff coming from?
Yeah.
We weren't even talking about this. We're talking about COVID and women were lashing out because of unfair treatment, or back in the day they got with the Me Too movement.
Okay, yeah. So it was
All
Me
that
Too
stuff came,
and COVID.
and then all of a sudden this Black Lives
George
Matter thing
Floyd.
came out of the
George
what?
Floyd. It was George Floyd and just all the shootings and stuff.
And
So that's
the
what I
US
felt
has
like-
gotten no better since that protest. There's still shootings every day. Black lives, all lives are getting ruined. Like that hasn't changed anything in the States.
Yeah.
So where's the message? What did it
Yeah, but
fix?
The whole thing is, when they started doing that Black Lives thing, I was like, why are you guys talking about Black lives? It should be everybody.
Really? So
That's
you're
what I was
Mr.
thinking.
All Lives Matter.
Let's stop separating people, because this is exactly what they've been doing from time.
Yeah.
Stop separating people. Human beings matter. Like, we all human. We're trying to live here on this planet together. So whatever differences we have, we got to try to get along. That's all. It has nothing to do with your skin color and this and that. It's all foolishness. So that's why I didn't like that Black Lives Matter thing, because I didn't see.
Is there a
the
protest though
purpose
that
of
ever
And
moved
that's
you?
a lower end.
Where you felt like, you know what?
Exactly.
Like a smaller.
I'd go out there, or I want to make a
Yes,
difference.
the COVID thing,
Yeah.
the lockdown.
Yeah.
That was like, come on, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
now.
It was nice to see you out there.
Yes, yes. That, for me, that was a real thing for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But did we get any results from it?
Yeah. No, I feel like those marches, also the COVID marches, I should say, helped as well. Because people were so afraid to speak out back then.
Maybe.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And then
okay,
seeing
okay,
people in large
okay,
numbers
yeah.
was like, okay,
True.
I'm not alone. I'm not the only one
True.
thinking this, you know?
True. That's how I felt when I went down there.
Yeah.
It's like, holy.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I got educated by the lady that was there. She was talking about her country and how they went into like a communist, they changed it over to communism, and this was like how it started, kind
Yeah,
of thing. So
yeah.
I was educated there, which I liked. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? 'Cause
And I feel like it's important too. What I've noticed with a lot of protests is you kind of go and you feel like you want more to happen. You want an actual change. You're just kind of walking and chanting and walking and
right,
chanting.
right.
And it's like, what's next?
right.
It's
right.
always the what's next.
Yeah.
You know? So the plan kind of has to be bigger.
Canadian government who wants to shut down extremists who
Yeah.
are fighting for their freedoms because it doesn't go with the agenda the government wants the people to hear. Now, that protest, I mean, I'm not involved in the Freedom Convoy or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
There are always going to be people who jump on board who create problems.
Yeah.
I think the intention of that was not to create problems. It was for people's voices, the freedom of speech, and to be heard. But like I say, then the government steps in because they don't like what's being said.
Oh, for sure not.
So that's where problems ensue, right?
Are protests effective? Do you think protesting is effective?
Protesting is
Yeah.
effective. Are you asking me?
Yeah.
I don't know. Give me a minute to think. What, are you asking me a question?
All right, cool. I'll come back. Your slang is killing me. Cool.
She's trying to get your real answer, you know? She don't want to yeah, we need to expand
That
on
was
that
what
question.
everybody used before Bosley.
We need to expand on that.
There's just been, do you find them effective just in terms of actually being to make the change that people are protesting for? So like BLM, what's happening in Gaza and Palestine, just any protest that's ever happened. Have you protested before? Do you find it effective? In terms of the government making changes or in terms of,
Yeah, but you need to do it. Everyone needs to do it together.
yeah,
There's no point in half-arse and
you need the numbers.
having a protest. You need to have like numbers and everyone on the same page. Like, you know, when you only see a couple of hundred people, that's absolutely
Yeah,
useless.
no, for sure.
That's
For
useless.
sure.
You need thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people with the same uniform and all that stuff and the same mind frame on the same wavelength.
Have you ever
for a protest
protested?
to work. No, not really.
Yeah, I know. These guys either.
Because it's only like little protests if you go into, and that's what I'm saying. I think they're pointless little protests.
Yeah.
You need big ones for them to work. Like France. You ever see France?
Yeah.
They protest against their government. They
Yeah.
come out in thousands and it works.
It works in
But-
terms of they're able
When
to make the government
will
change.
Listen, yeah. Well,
That's the only place that ever works.
yeah.
Hmm.
Because everyone else goes half-arsed at it and it's too corrupt.
It's true. France, they burned the place down.
Yeah, exactly. So the
Yeah.
government have to stop and they have to change, but everyone else doesn't do it that way. I think peaceful protests are a waste of time. I think.
Oh,
Uh, Although if you have thousands of people, maybe it might work.
There you go. So he's saying peaceful protests are a waste of time. No, that's okay. It's just a great segment for what I was going to ask next. I know, don't worry about it. It's the perfect segue.
I think so too.
Are there ever protests that should be illegal? Have you ever seen a protest where you're like, okay, no, they've got no right.
Harming civilians.
They've got no right.
Civilians are getting harmed. Yeah, it shouldn't be legal. We'll just stay within the boundaries of the law, right?
Good point.
Well, according to Trudeau, the Freedom Convoy protest was illegal.
There you go.
So, but was it illegal? According to the government, it was illegal.
What made it illegal though?
Right.
They
The
weren't burning
narrative.
anything down.
They were against town.
Yeah, but they weren't burning anything down. Like
And keeping people up at night. That was
Right.
illegal.
yeah.
And they got so severely, probably out of all the protests I've ever heard of, that group was the most severely
Yes.
punished.
Yes.
Because everybody got their accounts frozen. Like,
right.
that's like some serious stuff. You know,
Jail
their
time.
jail time.
Like, you kidding me?
Okay, can we go now?
So if the government isn't necessarily reacting to what most people want based on what they're seeing in protest, do you think democracy works?
Okay, I'll be here.
I don't think government, period, works. Any government, it doesn't work. There's an agenda, and if we don't follow their agenda, then it doesn't work. And you can't disagree with their agenda. You don't get anywhere. I just think government doesn't work the way we know government.
Or the way we think it's supposed to work?
Right.
Right. Exactly.
Democracy? A fallacy? Is democracy even real?
Communism works though.
What does?
Communism works.
Communism?
Yeah. Yeah.
What works with communism?
Well, if everyone don't follow the rules, there's big consequences to pay. And everyone's got to do it. So in a way, I'm not trying to say like that's the way to go, but
But you're
if you
saying
want
it's more
results,
effective.
like you need to be stiffer.
Than democracy. But in terms of the people having power, do you think democracy is even like real here? Like when you see somebody in power, do you feel like they actually represent the will of the people?
I can't really speak on it. I've never actually voted, so
Okay.
that doesn't really. When I vote, I can speak on that,
Okay.
which is this year.
I'm loving
I mean,
that.
no, 2025.
Yeah, I'm loving that.
Because if I don't vote, I can't complain. Like,
There you go.
know, I didn't do my part.
That's my word. That's my word to bird about it. Is democracy real? Do you feel like democracy is effective? Like your vote matters? Like the people that we're voting in actually represent the majority of us?
No,
Yeah, I know.
I don't think so. No. I don't like democracy. What are you talking about? Like fucking just the government.
The government being able to vote, the government feeling like,
Well, there's never a good
okay,
politician,
whoever's
is
in
there?
power,
When's the last good politician?
this is my problem. When was the good
independent ones is the
politician?
best ones, but they never get in because they don't have a big party.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That was one of my questions. Is there a politician that you like and trust and believe in? Sincerely.
I don't know any of them.
Not better than the worst.
What do you mean?
Just good.
Here.
Oh, so you like him through and through.
I mean, I really like him. I mean, I really like no man.
See,
But
I know.
Pierre still is getting my vote.
Okay.
Because he's the only one that can make the change. Because we can't vote for NDP because Jasmeet already joined forces with Liberals.
A fact.
I'm voting for him too, whoever he is. I'm going with Panther on that.
Oh, I love it. Panther, look at you campaigning. They got to put you on the campaign trail. Too much votes you
They
can
pay,
get.
pay me. Pay me
Right?
first.
Honestly.
Got me out here spitting all these grants.
Panther for president. Panther for, yeah.
Trustworthy politicians. Do you know one?
Pardon?
Trustworthy politicians. Is there a politician currently that you believe in, that you trust?
No. No.
Yeah, I know.
Because they all follow the exact same format. Like nobody's thinking outside the box. There's obviously boundaries that they have to stay in between. Like they can't cross over. You know what I mean? So they're limited in what they can do. It's a job at the end of the day.
Huh. It feels like rules. Because even like when Obama got into office, oh my gosh, we drove all the way to Washington to celebrate Obama.
Right.
But it was just the same as usual. Like there was no.
It's because they have their script and they have to live within it. They all, when they're running their campaign, they all promise, because they tell what they think the majority wants to hear. Then they get into office, and all that is kiboshed because this is the guidelines that you have to live within. Nothing gets accomplished because everything changes every 4 years in the U.S., every whatever number of years in Canada, I don't even know. So somebody might start something, the new group comes in, and then that's kiboshed. Nope, we're not spending our money here. Everything is a mess.
Interesting. How effective is protesting?
Protesting?
Taking to the streets, protesting. How effective is
Protesting is
protesting?
very, very important. It could be important, and it should be important. I think it would be important, right? Should be, could be, would be, right? Protesting is important. Of course, if you want something done, protest. But when you protest, go all the way in, just like anything else you're gonna do. You gotta go all the way in. You know what I'm saying? You gotta go hard. If you want to be heard, yeah. If you don't go hard, it doesn't make sense. That's it. You have to go hard. You gotta be ready to, even if it's stay up all night. Yeah,
That's what
stay
these
up all
guys
night.
said. That's what
Block
these guys
the road.
said.
If you're blocking that road, you're blocking this road, and it's 40 days, 40 nights. No surrender, no retreats. Shout out to the truckers.
Come
If you guys
on,
want to
word,
shout out to
word.
the truckers. They put
That
in
was
the work.
effective.
That's a real.
That was
That's what you
effective.
call protest.
That was
There was a lot of
effective.
other people, a lot of other
That was
movements, but-
effective, though.
Yeah, no. You gotta go hard. So protesting is effective. It's 1,000% effective. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta go hard. You can't just come away. Hey, we're gonna protest it. A handful of people. Sometimes, even if it's a handful, make sure you guys are making noise and you're going hard and staying up all day, all night. Be in the way. You protesting. As I don't want it to sound bad or awful. It's you have to be in the way, kinda. Because what's the point of your protest? Is to be heard, right? You're trying to be heard so you can get something. Whether it's a law you're looking to change, whether it's your paycheck, whatever the hell you're going through,
Yeah.
you gotta make noise. You gotta be there. No surrender, no retreat. That's it. No surrender, no retreat. Solidarity, man. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You gotta do what you gotta do, man.
For real.
Okay, so that was one of the other questions.
I don't know. Has to be worse.
Is there? Have you ever seen a? Okay, have you ever protested? That was one of them too. Have you ever protested?
Let me try to
Our whole
think.
lives.
Yeah.
Our whole
Word
lives.
to bird.
Yeah,
Word
yeah,
to
like
bird.
different protests, yeah, our
Word
whole
to bird,
lives,
word
because
to
we've
bird.
been places, you know what I'm saying? And it's not to say protest, but you stand up for your rights, you know, so if you've been certain places,
Have
I'll
you
just
ever
say,
walked the street?
I'll just
I
say
was
like
in-
Have you
August
ever
10th.
walked the street with
I'll
like
just
a
say
sign?
August 10th. All those guys know. Free everybody, free all the real, free all the good ones, huh? August
Word to
10th,
bird.
we would protest in the joint. Guys will tell you, they know.
Come
I
on.
don't want to get into
Yeah,
detail because
President's
that's
on.
something we're glorifying, yeah.
President's
We're not
Day,
glorifying,
yeah.
but it's protesting. You may not have the signs,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you're going
I
on
love
a
that.
hunger
It's
strike.
Yeah.
protest
It's a
on
hunger
Rodney
strike.
King
Yeah,
riot.
that's a big deal. That's a huge
You're
deal.
making
I
a
was
big
in the
deal.
Rodney King riot. Is that
Yeah.
a protest?
You were
And he
in the
knows. Tell
Rodney
us the
King
whole-
riot.
Downtown Toronto,
Now,
yeah.
you tell me, how did you feel? Did you feel vindicated? Because that was like, people were so upset. They'd seen like Rodney get beat down by the police on video. There was no like,
Emotions ran high. Emotions ran high. That's
right?
what it was, right?
Yeah,
But yeah, I was there. I was young. I was probably what, 92 or so.
yeah.
So I was probably what, 12 years old. Yeah, I still remember that day, clear as ever.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Kind of reminded me
Crazy
of
that
the-
you're there.
But yeah, this protesting does make sense for sure.
Have you
sir.
protested? Have you ever taken to the streets and like joined a
I
protest?
have, yeah.
Dope. Which
For the
one?
Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
That they were doing actions there for that one, yeah.
Dope.
And, yeah, they were heard and stuff, and a lot changed since then. So I think it did put a big footstep in what
Yeah.
racism was and police brutality and all that. So I think it did do a lot for in that sense. Yeah.
Thank you. Do you think protesting is effective?
Yes. Yeah, it is effective.
Name a few protests that you think have been effective.
Effective? Oh, off the top of the head? A lot of
And then,
protests.
what's your definition of effective?
Like accomplishing its goal?
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, a protest that was effective. Well, you know, a lot of the protests from back in the day in the 60s and the 70s were effective. A lot of laws were changed because of those protests. Protests for the gay community, they were effective. They changed some laws. They were able to achieve same-sex marriage and just it being not illegal for you to be in a gay relationship or just being gay. Well, especially in the West, I'll say that. I guess that's it that I can think of off the top of my head right now.
Have you ever protested?
No, I've never. Well, it's so embarrassing for me to say because I took advantage of a protest back in
Hilarious.
the day.
A woman, the woman's flipping.
No, this was a protest long time ago, like in the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
I think it was in the early 90s, and it was during the what's his face that got beat up by the cops back in the 90s.
Rodney King.
Rodney King.
Flipping Kells was saying he was at the Rodney King riot.
That was downtown.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you were 12 and you went down, so you just wanted to have fun.
I was like 17.
Oh, sorry, 17.
16, 17, yeah, I was around there. I was 18 in 93. Yeah, so I was about 16, 17. But it was a legit protest, but we kind of took advantage of the protest.
To what, to loot and stuff?
Yeah, right?
I know.
So
I know.
It was technically wasn't looting. Statute of limitations is good for now, yeah, it's been over 30 years, about 30 years, yeah, over 30 years. So we weren't looting per se. We actually planned this mission. I won't say exactly what we did and what we took, but it wasn't like, oh, let's just loot this place. No. It was a well thought out plan that we took advantage of the opportunity that fell in our hands at that very moment.
Well, that happens. So
You're
this
right.
is a good lead into my
It was
next
a one-time opportunity that we had to take advantage of.
Hilarious. Are there ever protests that should be illegal?
Yeah, like especially like when they're taking advantage of the situation, like when they're co-opting the actual narrative of the protests. Yeah, those ones should be illegal. Like, and that happens all the time. But it's hard to differentiate between legitimate protesters and people who crash it to take advantage of the quote-unquote, I guess, chaos of what's happening during a protest. So it's hard to make you can't make protesting illegal because it infringes on your human rights of freedom of speech, right? So you have the right to speak and you have the right to protest.
There you go.
That's it.
Perfect. Hey guys.
How are you?
Pretty good. Can you explain or talk about the importance of coming out and protesting and the impact that protesting can have?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, we need to show that we're not behind what our government is doing.
Yeah.
You know, I think around the world you have this problem like people blame Hamas. That is not the people of Palestine. It's been going on forever. The UN can't provide a solution. What do we got? Generations of their solutions that have gotten us to this point. So it's time for a change, and that's what we're here for, to get people to work together to bring the revolution that needs to happen.
Come on. Thank you.
All right?
Ceasefire now! 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 Ceasefire now!
How important is it to come out and demonstrate?
I think it's important to show solidarity because all of our struggles are interconnected, and it's important to show that we are a lot of people that are done with violence, with occupation, with apartheid and genocide.
Thank you.
If your hands are not holding a sign, if your hands are not holding a flag, I want them up in the air and I want them clapping. Intifada! 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 Long live the Intifada! Long live the Intifada! Long live the Intifada! Long live the Intifada! Viva Viva Palestina! Viva Viva Palestina! Viva Viva Intifada! Viva Viva Intifada! 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 Long live the Intifada! Long live the Intifada! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine!
Thank you for watching another episode of Shop Talk. Please remember to press that subscribe button down at the bottom. Peace.
I did it.